there are two types of customers, external and internal. Your external customers are, of course, the people that bring their car into your shop. The internal customers are one another. I want to share with you Riggs' law of customer service. It is this: external service always eventually rises or falls to the level of internal service. The way that you treat your people and the way they treat one another will eventually be matched in the way that they treat the customers. This is because all of us are susceptible to something called passive-aggressive behavior. Do you know what this is? I can illustrate it quite well because it happens all the time in my marriage. I am married to a delightful woman named Trish. Trish is, inside and outside, one of the most beautiful people the world has ever known. She's like Snow White. If she goes for a walk in the woods, the birds, butterflies, and bunnies come out just to be close to her. She is that magnetic a human being outside the home. Inside, not always. Let's suppose that I was sitting at home reading the newspaper when my wife calls me on her cell phone from the side of the road. She says, "I've had a flat tire." I would say, "I'll be right there," and hang up. I am her knight in shining armor. I have joyfully taken upon my own shoulders the responsibility for taking care of this woman and rescuing her if ever the need arises. So I will walk briskly to my car. I will back out and drive her way as fast as I safely can. If I see a yellow light, I'm not hitting the brake, I'm hitting the gas. I'm going to get to her side as quickly as I can. I'm going to change that tire with a great attitude. When I'm finished, I'm going to give her a big hug and a kiss and say, "Honey, my greatest honor in life is just being your husband." But now let's change the scenario just a bit. Let's suppose that she's treated me like crap for 3 days. It happens. Same scenario, I'm reading a newspaper, the phone rings, she said, I've had a flat tire. Now I'm still her knight in shining armor. I still take upon my shoulders the responsibility for taking care of and rescuing this woman. And I know that even though we're on the outs this week, we'll be back in love by this time next week. So I will say the same thing. I will be right there. I will hang up and then think to myself, just as soon as I finish reading the paper. And I'll finish reading that article. I will fold the paper neatly and put it on the coffee table. I will then begin to mosey toward my car. My path to the driveway will take me through the kitchen, where I'll probably stop and make myself a glass of iced tea. And I'll take a minute to flavor it just the way I like it. And I'll get in my car, back out, and head her way in no particular hurry. If I see a yellow light, I'm not hitting the gas, I'm hitting the brake. And I will get to where she is about 5 to 10 minutes later than I could have, and she'll never know that I took my time. But I'll know that I got even. And I'm still going to change that tire. It's my job. I'm the husband. But it's not going to be with the same attitude. There are going to be vibes coming out. Every time I tighten one of those lug nuts, there'll be a little bit of a glare. And I'll still give her a hug and a kiss, but it's going to be an air hug and one of those little pecks on the cheek. I'll still do my job, but I won't do it as fast. And I won't do it as well. And I won't do it with the same attitude. That's what happens in your business. If you treat your people like crap, if you blow them off, if you don't treat them well, they're going to get even. They'll do their jobs, they just won't do them very fast. They won't do them quite as well. They won't dot every I, cross every T, and they won't be smiling when they do it. And the customers are going to sense vibes coming out. You'll never know that they didn't do their best, but they'll know that they got even with you. Last year, I did training for about 3,000 employees of San Francisco General Hospital. And at the end of the session, one of the nurses wrote on her evaluation card the following comment. I want to read it to you. "I feel my manager is a hypocrite. They ignore me and treat me like a second-class citizen and then wonder why I don't provide great service to the patients? Until you can begin to treat me with a little respect, don't expect me to give good service. Now, folks, if a trained medical professional is not going to do her best when the health or the life of her patients is on the line, I suppose your employees might do the same when the only thing on the line is whether that ping stops or whether the belt gets replaced right. Of course they will.